What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here with your second stimulus check update. And we're starting to see a lot of movement from the Democrats in regards to another stimulus check and a lot of different things they're working on right now, including stimulus packages, what Nancy Pelosi is saying, and also what Democrats are saying about Nancy Pelosi. But first, can you give this video a thumbs up down below? It really helps out our channel. And don't forget to click the subscribe button if you haven't yet. This way you won't miss out on second stimulus check, unemployment, and related news as it comes out. My wife and I do all the research for you every single day so we can bring you all the information in a quick, concise video. These are the type of headlines we're starting to see from the Democrats. Frustrated House Democrats push for action on new economic relief bill. Nancy Pelosi promises action on a bill, but without a new game plan or concessions, some vulnerable lawmakers are under attack, aka some Democrats that are up for re-election. And before we go any further, let me know down below in the comments if you think Nancy Pelosi is doing a good job or not. And let me know if you think she will be reelected in November, because there's been a lot of back and forth about how she's doing right now. Some people think she's doing a good job by holding out to get more money for the stimulus package. And a lot of people say that she's not doing a good job and she should just agree to a stimulus package now, get stimulus checks out and unemployment extension out, and then work on more later. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. I would love to read through them, and I'm sure there will be an interesting debate. Multiple House Democrats expressed anxiety and frustration Tuesday about the prospect of adjourning for the election without a new stimulus package or stimulus relief bill, with one vulnerable House Democrat saying on a private call with leadership that she wanted her, Nancy Pelosi, to do her blank blank job and deliver a deal for her constituents. Even my wife's laughing in the background. Man, Nancy Pelosi is just coming under fire. And this is right before her election, the big election, and the Democrats, all the House members are up for re-election, and about a third of the Senate goes up for re-election every 2 years. And man, she is getting grilled by her own people, her own Democrats in her own house are grilling her, saying, just take a deal. Now, on the other hand, we are starting to see the White House start to come up and offer more money, with President Donald Trump's recent tweet within the last 2 days saying, just go for more money, Republicans, just go for the larger bill. So maybe Nancy Pelosi will have the last laugh in the end? House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, who is from California, announced on a conference call with House Democrats on Tuesday morning that the House would remain in session until a new agreement is struck, saying, we have to stay here until we have a bill. But within hours, Democrat Majority Leader Steny Hoyer clarified that the lawmakers would not actually remain in Washington beyond their scheduled recess date of October 2nd, and instead would be required to be on call in case they must return. Frustration boiled over on a Democratic call with the new centrist New Democrat coalition held with Nancy Pelosi and Hoyer on Tuesday. The coalition includes a number of freshman lawmakers who just recently won their elections and beat Republicans in 2018 and are now facing tough re-election campaigns in GOP or Republican-leaning areas. At one point, pressed by Representative Kathleen Rice, a Democrat from New York, about why members shouldn't physically stay in town to wait for a deal, Nancy Pelosi suggested that she should just poll fellow lawmakers on the issue. After Nancy Pelosi got off the call, Steny Hoyer faced more pushback over the situation and expressed sympathy, but said repeatedly that he did not want to undermine Nancy Pelosi. Representative Abigail Spanberger, a Democrat from Virginia, responded to a comment from fellow lawmakers who said members should be following their convictions by saying, "My conviction is to actually do my bleep bleep job and come up with a solution for the American people. We have to bring something to the floor." This comes on the heels of several things that we're probably going to see this week coming up. We have the government shutdown looming in only about 11 days from now. The government will shut down if they cannot approve another bill or what's called a continuing resolution, where they just agree to continue last year's budget for the federal government a couple more months, or to have actually a new bill voted on. If they don't do either of these within the next 10 or 11 days, we will see another government shutdown right before the election. So we may see them trying to vote on a bill for that this week. We also may see them try to lump in stimulus or stimulus checks with that bill, because that's just what Congress people do. They like to lump in several different things with a bill. I don't know if they're going to do that, but what I have heard is that besides voting on a bill to prevent the government shutdown, or at least trying to, they have to do it pretty much this week or they're going to be in trouble, is that the Democrats are also bringing together a new bill with stimulus checks, a new stimulus package bill that they want to vote on and get approval on from all the Democrats. They're probably going to vote on it in the House, get it passed. Then they want to go over the Republicans' heads and have President Donald Trump agree to it before they get the Republicans to vote on it, saying that that will give them a bigger chance to pass another stimulus package. We've been seeing a lot of support from both Democrats and Republicans over the Problem Solvers Caucus bill, which included not one, but two stimulus checks of $1,200 and $500 for dependents. And the second one would be in March of 2021 if the pandemic continues, and a $450 weekly unemployment boost money for 8 weeks, and then another extension of it for 5 weeks after that. And then, if the pandemic continues into 2021, also another extension of the unemployment boost next year also. There's a lot of lawmakers and regular people saying that they should just turn this into an actual bill and vote on it. The Problem Solvers Caucus is a group of 50 people, 25 Republicans and 25 Democrats from the House of Representatives. And that's what makes this bill unique, is it's already a bipartisan bill. And to get it passed in either the House or the Senate, they only need a few votes from the other side. So for example, if the Republicans came out with this bill, just drafted it exactly as is, they could likely pass it in both the House and the Senate. The Republicans only need about 20 or 25 votes in the House to pass it. The House has over 400 members. So that could easily be done because there's 25 Democrats and 25 Republicans from the House alone that have drafted this bill. So if they need 20 people, 20 Democrats from the House to pass this bill, they already have it. They already have 25 of them that drafted this bill from the Problem Solvers Caucus group, the 25 Democrats. So there's been a lot of support to basically just, let's turn this Problem Solvers Caucus bill into an actual bill in either the House or the Senate and actually vote on it, because this bill has everything that both the Republicans and the Democrats have been saying that they want. It has stimulus checks. It actually has 2 of them. It has an unemployment extension. It actually has 2 of them. It has money for small businesses through the PPP loan and also through the EIDL program. There's money for states and cities, which is exactly what the Democrats want and what Nancy Pelosi wants. Now, it's not as much as she wants. She wants almost $1 trillion, but there is $500 billion of states and city money in there for the Democrats. So that really should make them happy. And there's also liability protections for businesses, schools, and hospitals and things of that nature for the Republicans. So there's stuff for both parties in that bill. I personally think that is the bill that they should pass. They should make it into a bill and actually vote on it. That is the best bill we've had to date, and it already has bipartisan support. You guys can let me know your thoughts down below in the comments about this bill. Do you like this bill? Do you think they should vote on this bill? Let us know your thoughts down below. This comes on the heels of the unemployment boost money from the presidential executive order has run out, and we will not see more than 6 weeks of unemployment boost for any states. Here is a quick unemployment update for you guys. We still have about 16 different states with payment pending that have not seen any payments yet. Some of these states have a pay date estimate listed here in this column. Some states have not received the full, actually, a lot of states have not received the full 6 weeks yet. They should be receiving them on a weekly basis or in a one lump sum to finish out the rest of the 6 weeks. I'll scroll down here so you guys can see the other states here. But the vast majority of states have received at least one payment, if not all of the payments already. And there will not be any more unemployment boost money until we can get another stimulus package passed or another presidential executive order passed to do this. I personally think if we're going to see another presidential executive order, that it will not happen for unemployment money, that it would happen for stimulus checks. The president knows he's already passed money for the unemployment, and this time around, I think he would do it with the stimulus checks, where he says there's $300 billion sitting in a fund from the first stimulus package just waiting to be spent, and he would like to have Congress's approval, but if he can't get it, then they're exploring ways to do that through a presidential executive order. I think with the election now being only around 45 days away, I think in the next week or two, if they don't get a stimulus package passed, that the president will step in and do that and pass it through a presidential executive order the exact same way he passed the unemployment money through a presidential executive order. And the money's already been earmarked for stimulus, so he doesn't technically, at least in my opinion, need Congress's approval because the money's already sitting there for stimulus. And that's exactly what happened from the first presidential executive order, where the money was already sitting there for disaster relief, and he passed the presidential executive order and used that money for disaster relief for this pandemic for unemployed people. Now, again, this is very similar. It's almost the exact same thing. That money is just sitting there from the first stimulus package. It's $300 billion, which is just enough money for a stimulus check. It's already been earmarked for stimulus. Congress has already approved it from the first stimulus package. He can just sign his name, do another presidential executive order, and basically use that money for stimulus checks this time around, just like he used the previous money for an unemployment extension. So make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss out on upcoming videos. We're going to have a lot of information coming out this week, and hit the like button for me if you haven't yet. We typically have videos going live at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will keep you guys updated with the latest news. And you can click on these videos to watch my newest stimulus check videos next. And this video teaches you how to start a business selling products on Amazon FBA. I have students that have replaced their entire 9-to-5 income selling products on Amazon. Click on one of those videos to watch them next. Thanks, and I will see you in the next video.